Here we are in the Motorhome 99 Bigfoot, and I've been doing some work on the water system lately. Let me switch off the water heater quick. I don't need that anymore. And pump two. And so recently here, the other week, I put this pressure tank in, and that has definitely helped keep the pump from having to run all the time. It's actually improved my pressure slightly. I think the pump probably has to work a little bit harder considering the air pressure I have in that tank. I don't have a pressure valve, or excuse me, a pressure gauge yet. I'm gonna put something like that in. But what I did get was some water meters. These are Italian made, from a company called B-Meter. It's fully mechanical. There's no pulse output on them. They were, what were they? $30 a piece, I think. This red one here is hot water. It's good up to 90 degrees C. The other one is blue. It's good up to 30 degrees C, I think. Maybe a little higher than that. Anyway, other than that, though, they're basically the same construction. I don't know why there's a difference in temperature rating on them. They're magnetically coupled, the transmission of it, so the gears and the dials and everything like that are separated from the water, and the transmission is through a magnetic rotor that spins whenever you turn the water on. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to turn the water on. And you can see her spinning along. Anyway, it's measured in cubic meters per minute, I think, or just cubic meters. But anyway, it is good down to the number dial up at the top is 1 cubic meter, which is quite an amount of water. This one here is 0.0190 and counting. So it counts down to deciliters, 1/10 of a liter. I'm pretty happy with them right now. I've taken 2 showers. I've quantified a few things. They're all strapped in place. They are, everything's kind of assembled with these pushed together fittings. You can see there's a lot of different types of fittings. There's copper ones, there's plastic ones of different styles that I've played around with. I'm trying to figure out which one's my favorite. The one problem I had with these valves, they have a 1/2 inch threaded fitting. Here's this adapter. There's an O-ring in there it comes with, but it comes with all this brass. And the thing's straight. They're not tapered threads. I don't know much about that. They don't look like any type of fitting that I'd ever seen before, and sure enough, whenever you crank a fitting on, it did not tighten. So I actually had one of these fittings. This one at the top. It's 1/2 inch here from push fit, and it actually swivels, and it has a if you've ever seen like a kitchen sink or a sink braided hose, oftentimes they're like 3/4 inch, and they have a rubber bung in the center, kind of a cone-shaped piece of rubber, a seal that seats itself in the end of the pipe. And that's exactly what this is, but it's 1/2 inch. I got that at Camping World, just picked it up because I thought I needed it, ended up not using it for one project, and put it on here, and it sealed up fine, so I figured that's what I need. So every plumbing supply store basically told me I was crazy and that it couldn't be straight threads. And they also told me they didn't have this and they didn't know where to get it. So I found them online, and I know they have them at Camping World. And anyway, whatever, yesterday or the day before, I just said, screw it, I'm going to try dropping an O-ring in the bottom of these NPT fittings that I had that were leaking. And sure enough, it sealed up fine. So I don't know if I'll leave it like that, but haven't had any problems with them. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But down the road, if I ever move them or install them somewhere else, I'll probably get a more appropriate fitting. So as far as the operation of them, it's pretty straightforward. One thing I like about them is the dial will rotate, so you can run it in a vertical or horizontal orientation. They say it will register at just a trickle. Oh, that cold water. You can see it on the hot there. Now I don't think it's very accurate at that low level, and I actually use this 2-liter kitchen measuring cup and just filled it up to 2-liter mark, and The value I was getting was about 1.6 liters on the dial. So my measuring cup is probably not ideal for it, and the coach is sitting at an angle, so I just kind of had to eyeball it and try to make it as level as I could. But yeah, the meter's really not designed to be accurate at that low flow rate, because you just have a little dial in there, a little wheel that's spinning along. So, but at full flow rate, the value I kept getting repeatedly was 1.9 liters, both just the cold side, and if I ran straight hot, I would get the same 1.9 liters on both meters. So that's good. The question is, are they reading accurately? And so I'll have to get a different measuring cup. I may do it by mass. And I'm sure if I measured out larger quantities of water, it'd give me a better idea how well they work. But I'm still pretty impressed. A digital output, I guess, would have been a nice thing, a pulse output, or even a digital meter. But I liked how these were built, and seems like they're going to last a long time. And they weren't very expensive either. I mean, I got the both of them for like, I don't know, 80 bucks or something with shipping. So I took a quantified shower. Navy shower, turn the water on, get wet, turn the water off, scrub up, turn it back on, rinse it off. First shower was 9.8 liters, 2.6 gallons approximately. Yeah, so what I was saying was we had, the first one was 9.8 liters, about 2/3 hot, 1/3 cold, and the one I just took here was 7.6 liters, just over 2 gallons. I can do better than that, but still, a 2-gallon shower is kind of a challenge. In the future, as far as water consumption and saving water, I've mentioned this before, but I really want to put foot pedals in for my sinks, but not valves. I've decided that valve doesn't make any sense. It's big, it's clunky, it's heavy, it's extra plumbing. I might as well do it electrically and put in solenoid valves, plastic solenoid valves in those 2 lines up in the corner there. I'm going to put a valve on each one. I'm going to probably tie it together electrically and have one single switch down here, a little limit switch or lid switch, door switch, if you've ever seen one of those with kind of a little springy switch arm on it. And in that way, if I'm going to primarily use, say, hot water here or some combination of the both, I'm going to leave it on. And then whenever I want water, I can have it adjusted, and I can just hit the foot pedal, and the water comes out at the temperature that I already have set. Of course, you can adjust it accordingly, but if you're doing something and you're using water intermittently, it's already set up for you. Works even better here in the kitchen sink, or excuse me, the bathroom sink, because I pretty much only use cold water in a bathroom sink. Maybe if I'm really scrubbing my hands or something I can't get off, I'm going to use hot, but otherwise cold usually works pretty well. I'm going to investigate that though, because if I find that I'm using more water because I'm only using cold water and it's not as effective as what hot water would use, I might start using hot. I don't know. It's something to investigate. But same thing. Both of them are going to be tied in. So even if I'm not using the hot water, that valve will be open, but it can be closed up here, and I can adjust it accordingly. But brushing your teeth, shaving, washing hands, all those things can save a ton of water there. Another place that I want to have switch is actually the shower. Doing the Navy shower thing, I find myself getting in and turning both the knobs on, getting the temperature selected, which takes a very short period of time because the water heater is so close, it's plastic lines, and the water heats up really rapidly. Of course, pull the plunger out for the shower head, but whenever I shut the water off, I'm in the middle of a shower, I can shut it off up here in the back of the shower head. These things are designed that you can kill the water and turn it down and kill it. But it leaks, it dribbles, and I could fix it, but right now I'm just shutting it off here, and then I can turn it back on, pull a plunger out. There's a little bit of water wasted there. You wouldn't think it's much, but you know, I guess I'm kind of anal about it. So I actually am thinking about putting in like a rubberized switch, like a push button switch, push it for on, push it for off. And same thing as the sinks, it would be tied into both lines. And that way I can take a more streamlined shower. Yeah, that's something to investigate. I'll do the sinks first. Probably start with the bathroom sinks. Seems like the best place to start. Then the kitchen sink, and then if it all works out, I'm going to consider doing the bathroom. So, hey, other than that, did put a shock on this lid here, the litter box, place for him to scratch. Rolls up out of the way to take the box out. All that. Got the cabinet. Got a nice. I found this nice little latch in there. Oh, that's about it. I'm playing with the TV. Just plug a jump drive into it and watch any movie I want. I imagine I can probably plug an external hard drive into it as well. So yeah. Other than some goodies for the battery and some solar panels and wind turbine that I gotta look into later, that's about it for now. Thanks.